Good morning, and welcome to another comical episode of Diatribes from the Voice of Doom. Now, here's your satirical and farcical host, Voice of Doom. Good morning. And when I say morning, it is 1:10 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. So it's not really morning in the sense that people think of morning. But I'm going to do a diatribe because I had a really interesting day and I want to tell you all about it. And believe it or not, the whole day revolved around Jimmie Failla, which I don't know him. I've seen him on Fox. But my whole day revolved around Jimmie Failla. So I know we have a connection because I think I'm the wisest person on earth and I can see when things are connected and there's reasons for everything. And I had a really interesting day and I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm not going to talk about explosions in Ukraine. I'm not going to talk about explosions on the U.S. border or looting because that can be talked about later when it gets worse. What I'm going to talk about now is I want to show you my dinner because it seems to be a fashion that you have to take a picture of your dinner and send it to your friends. So I'll send this to the world because it's kind of an invention of me and the chef that I've worked with for many, many, many years. And he came up with a pasta special for our restaurant, which I work in. I mean, it's not mine. And it was, sounded good, but I wanted to get something to eat besides the usual spaghetti that I'm allowed as an employee or a pizza. So I figure I'd just pay half price for, something good. That's why I talked to him about the special, and he was nice enough to say, I'll make you one. You don't have to pay. So I'll show you real quick that I'll do some adjustments. But it's really good because he wanted marinara sauce on the special. I don't know if you can see it. Blue mussels, shrimp, calamari, and scallops on spaghettini pasta. And instead of the marinara, I asked him for a piccata sauce. But then I thought, well, the piccata won't really stick to the stuff. So I had put a little cream in it, make it a creamy piccata. And it was probably in the top 10 of the best things I've ever eaten in my life. So between the two of us, we came up with something pretty good. So I wanted to show you my dinner. I'm going to enjoy that after I finish this and watch myself. And whatever else I do, that's my business. But Jimmie Failla, now, about a week ago, I worked in the Nugget in Carson City. I worked there for many, many years. So I get comps and I get a little bit of special consideration. And I saw that Jimmie Failla was going to be in the comedy show, that they have a comedy act or comedy night on weekends at the Nugget. It's the only comedy club in town. And of course, they're the best. They've been the best for 6 or 7 years because they're the only comedy club in town. So we'll leave that there, but Jimmie Failla, and I'm like, I've seen him on Fox and I kind of want to check it out. And I was thinking to myself, well, if I happen to be able to get a word in edgewise at any time in my life, which I never can, I'm always interrupted, I might be able to talk to him and maybe it could kind of slip in my blurb about diatribes because I think I've said a lot. And if I can just get one little niche or one little, break to where it breaks out, And maybe Jimmie Failla will look at my crap and go, oh, this is really good crap. And I want Gutfeld to see it. I want Water to see it. And I want, whoever else is in the cadre of glib, amusing, and smart. And they say a lot. So come on. Fox News. So I'm thinking Jimmie Failla, I'll see him at the Nugget. I'll try to get off early from my job that's 15 miles away. So I was thinking about that, and I was just about to ask my boss if I could get off early so I could go see his show. And she comes up to me and says, can you work on Saturday morning from 11 or from 10 to 2? And I go, yeah, why not? Nothing but time. So she goes, well, Fred is having a comedy show and a kind of a little, rally or whatever with some, special guests. And I just thought Failla, and then I said, who's the comedy? And she goes, some guy named Jimmie Failla. And nobody knows who he is in the rank and file of people that don't pay attention. And I'm not saying they're bad people. It's just I know who he is because I watch Fox News about 3 hours a day on YouTube. So it's not just watching these shows through, I get snippets here, snippets there. So I know this guy's big, and he's coming to the restaurant that I work in as a bartender and going to do a little rally with some Mindenites, some, 70, 75, right wing, the whole thing. They're all on the same page. So it's an easy audience. And I'm thinking, well, that's interesting. I don't even have to go to the Nugget because he's coming to where I work. And I'm going to talk to him, and I'll slip him my card. Just pandering. I know it's crass, but what are you going to do? I know. Even if he said it's crappy, at least he watched it. And he would say a comment from Jimmie Failla, I hate your stuff, give it up. And that would be great because it would at least be something. So I had a long day today because it was Saturday and I got up early, and usually I get up early and do a few crossword puzzles and fall asleep again. So I don't have to work till 4. And that's my lifestyle. For reasons you would see if you look backwards into my crap. Now, I had to get up and stay up and get perky and say I'm going to go down to Minden and schlep drinks for a bunch of people in the morning that are watching some political rally. Now, I told you before that my boss is running for governor. And you can say that and just say, oh, whatever, but he's running for governor, okay? He is serious, and he might win. And to say he might win, he might be pissed at me because we've gone through it for millions of lifetimes. But he might get pissed, just say, might, it's like, well, you're a dark horse. You're out of the others, you're not in the political arena. So to say you're going to win outright is just hippie. I'm okay, you're okay, everything's groovy. You don't say that. You say, he might win. And he's a good candidate because he doesn't buy into all the crap that I've been talking about. That's why I was so lucky when they offered me this job. And then Jimmie Failla shows up. So I'm making drinks like I haven't made so many Bloody Marys in 1.5 hours in my life. Never. All from scratch. None of this. I mean, we had the mix, yeah, but, I was making them good, and I was shaking them, and I was straining it and putting, I was doing good with the garnish. Got to charge them, too. It was a no-host bar. So we're running our asses off, and I see Jimmie Failla, and I listen to his political rallying, which is fine. I couldn't really concentrate on the details, but I knew he had a captive audience, so I knew that he could say a lot without suffering any backlash. So I didn't get a chance to even say hi to him. He's working 10 feet away from me, and I can't even say hi. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to make a lot of money. Not a lot. Come on. I'm going to make tips, and I'm going to go home and take a nap or watch myself. It's the closest thing I have to sex. And go back to work. And I know that Failla is going to do a 10 o'clock show at the Nugget, and I know that I'm going to get off no later than 8:30, and I know that I have comps because I've been there a long time. So I knew I was going to go see him, and I saw his comedy stand-up, which was different from his political, who he's saying to the silver-hairs. He's a little more, it's hard to explain. He was funny. I enjoyed him. It was funny. Very funny. He said a lot of things that I've been saying for months, but I won't hold that against him. Maybe he was saying it for 50 years, but I'm older than him. And I knew the world was wrong. Probably in 82, 81, 80, I started to realize, yeah, this isn't right. But be that as it may, I'm running into this guy right and left, okay? And I finally got to see him on the casino floor where he was hobnobbing, and everybody left. I finally could say 2 or 3 sentences, and it was so lame because I'm like, yeah, you saw me at the rally or whatever, and I was sup and drink. I didn't have a chance to say hi, and he kind of acted like he remembered me, and kind of acted like, okay, whatever. But I have the hat. I had it on, so he knows. And I gave him my card, which I had put my diatribes thing behind my piano card that I have for piano gigs. And I put my thing, and I'm just like, I know it's pandering, I know it's crass, whatever. I'm not going to be like everybody because everybody has an agenda. I saw all the people coming up to him, and they all wanted to be on the radio show, or they all wanted to do this, or they all wanted that, and they had this idea and that idea, and this is great. And I'm talking to a person who talks to Fox, and he's up there, and I'll talk about my idea. So I felt really stupid giving him my card because I didn't want to be like everybody else. And I was watching him, and he taught me a lot. So that's why I'm going to send this to him, and I hope he kind of, I don't care if he appreciates, but just knows people affect everybody. You have an effect on everybody that you come in contact with. And I was watching him, and it's like, I can't do this. I don't want to be famous. It's not good. I mean, he's not even that famous. I can only imagine if you're like a superstar. Because he's good, and he's been on Fox, and he's recognized, and everybody's surrounding him. And I don't think he can keep it straight about who is who and where's going where and this and that, and they all want this, and I said, I don't want it. So I've been talking about diatribes and being world renowned, and people actually taking heed of my word, and I'm, asked to come on Fox because they want to hear my ribald wit. And I'm looking at it like, I don't know. Still looks hard. Everybody coming up, and every town you have to act like it's special, and a lot of material out of Carson City, man, because we are derelicts, all of us, and we'll admit it. You could get a little town hall meeting in Carson City, and it'd be hilarious. But I'll send this to him. I appreciate him because he taught me a lot. I don't want that. I can't do it. He did a political rally at noon, And then he's doing a show at 10, and he's trying to be energetic, and I'm already tired. Well, yeah, I was bartending, and I was working my ass off, but I know what show business is like, and it's tiring. So thanks, Jimmy. And I think you'll see this. I have a feeling, because we're connected, even though we're different. And it was a really interesting day. I don't think I said enough about connections. The connections between life and all phenomena. And when strange things happen and there's connections, then there's a reason for it. And I hope people see the diatribes, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to be in the center, but people coming up wanting to shake my hand, because it's too much. Can't do it. It's 16 minutes already. You see, I knew it would be going fast because I had a lot to say. I didn't say anything. So I'll bid you adieu. I will eat that delicious seafood, frutti di mare con piccata crema, which I just named it. That's how good I am. And watch myself. And whatever else I do, that's my business. So good night.